Hello, Amanda. Hello, Kelly. How are you doing today?
Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for having us on. Doing good.
Yeah, awesome. How about you, Kelly? How are you doing today?
Doing great. Had a wonderful Mother's Day and just sort of ready for a new week.
Excellent. Good. So we're talking today about courage at work and courage in general. And so I'm going to explain this blue hair to both of you because it's super entertaining. I have been sporting platinum hair for, gosh, I don't know, for the last few months. And sometimes I change it up and put different colors in. But my sister had given me some instruction on a box mix that I used on myself. Danger, right? But this is courage, right? Okay, I've got courage. I'm going to go all in on this box mix. So I put this on my head, the whole thing, and the ends were platinum, and then because the roots were dark, it was like a dark brown. It started to turn like a orangish.
Oh,
Yeah.
been there.
And it wasn't going away. I'm like, and then it said the max time was 45 minutes. I'm like, okay, well, we're at the 45 minutes. It's still orange. Well, the base is orange. I'm like, well, my sister's like, well, maybe the toner will fix it. Okay, so I rinse it out really good. I put the toner on, use almost the whole bottle. Nope. I then try to bleach again a second time, which is dangerous. You're really not supposed to do that. And rinse it again, still orange. Use the rest of the toner, still not working. So lo and behold, I do some Googling and it says use semi-permanent blue to see if you can neutralize the orange. I'm like, all right. I mean, I have had blue hair before, and I'm like, well, this could be interesting. It could be a popsicle. It could turn out like this. I may not get rid of the orange. So I actually did wind up getting rid of the orange. And now I'm going to be wearing blue for a little bit. So,
I love it. It looks great on you. Yeah.
There's a story, right? Courage.
Yeah.
All right. Like I do one box, then I'm going to do another box and see what happens. There we go.
Yeah. It looks great. I've been there with the orange thing before. And I was like,
oh, I know. I've done that a couple times. I thought that stupidity was over, but apparently not. Apparently I'm going to keep doing it. I don't learn my lesson.
It's tough with the box stuff.
Yeah, it is.
You never know what you're going to get. So.
You never know. So Amanda, tell me about the rolls of fabric behind you. I'm dying to know.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So this is the fabric that we get donated. It comes from different manufacturing companies and sources that donate it to us so that we can make our handbags.
Nice.
So the design is picked from here. We also have that closet back there just packed full of beautiful fabrics that people have donated.
So are all the fabrics always donated?
Yes. Yep. Okay. Everything we get everything from leather to manufacturing scraps, and we get vinyl from the restaurant industry that they use for their the seating.
That is fantastic. Tell me about you and Kelly. You can chime in here. What you all do. What sets your heart on fire?
Well, I'm the product manager and creative lead. So creativity has always set my heart on fire. In my past life, I was a cake decorator and a baker. Ooh. And so all things crafty and artistic, that just, I love it. And
so this is a natural fit for you then.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, what about you, Kelly? Sorry, I cut you off, Amanda.
No, you're fine.
I think capturing people's stories and putting words around who people are in a way that will sound impactful to the listener or the reader. I studied journalism, and in my past life, I was in TV news doing news reporting, which we didn't get the opportunity to tell the most uplifting stories all the time. You know, if you watch local news, obviously it's not always uplifting, but the stories that I loved telling were the features and about the people doing amazing things, about the people who have done transformations in their lives or for organizations or for others. So it's amazing to be surrounded by a group of women who are doing so much, being able to put some words around it and put some meaning in it. So we drive action, whether it's driving somebody to come to our website and learn about Unshattered, or driving somebody to purchase a handbag that's been sustainably made, or driving somebody to make a donation to support the work that these women are doing, and so that we can hire more women.
What does courage look like for both of you in this work, in your day-to-day, in what you do here at work, or what you do at home? How does that show up for both of you?
For me, I mean, right now.
I don't know what to do. It's terrifying.
So I'll be honest. I've always struggled with anxiety. So just not saying no to things that really pull me out of my comfort zone. I just made it a point from the beginning of my career here at Unshattered to always say yes to things that are going to help me grow and get me out of my comfort zone, especially being able to share my story and share the story of Unshattered and how that has had a positive impact on me. So courage looks like showing up every day and saying yes, even when it can be scary.
Nice. I love that. And that, I mean, I think it's so natural for so many of us to want to shy away from the stuff that we're afraid of, or that gives us pause. And so it's saying yes when you want to say no, is what I just heard.
I think that is a huge part of where the drug addiction comes in too. It's because it's easier to mask that feeling, or to use a substance in order to have that courage. And now the ladies that are on this team having to face things completely sober-minded, and and being a little nervous, but still going through it. And I think every time you have a victory, you get that much more confident. And so it's been a great experience.
And I think, I mean, I don't know this, I'd love to know from both of you, but it requires, I'm assuming it requires digging deeper in yourself and with others, asking for support and looking for something internal in order to continue to push through with that courage. Is that true?
Definitely. Yeah. And having the women on the team for support too it's great to have the community, and we all push each other here. So
I love that, Amanda. Kelly, what does that look like for you as far as this support and the network? We talk, with the gals that we help, and some of the people that we help. We talk about the network and support that surrounds us to help us when in times when things are rough or low. What does that look like from your perspective?
I think the biggest thing that I've learned since coming to Unshattered is how much being vulnerable has to do with being courageous. And like Amanda said, doing things that you're uncomfortable with and doing it anyway. I think there is a level of vulnerability that the team is willing to have personally and with each other that allows everyone to be courageous. So if one team member is doing something and they're getting encouragement from the other team members, then the newest lady coming in just is walking into an organization where anything is possible. You've got support around you. And it's just because people are willing to not do it perfectly, willing to stumble through it, are willing to ask for help and everything.
Are either of you familiar with the term imperfect action?
I haven't heard it like that, but.
All right. Well, I think, Kelly, you just alluded to it as far as not doing things perfectly. I'm a recovering perfectionist. So, and sometimes that keeps us from taking action, from doing something hard, from having the courage to step out of our comfort zone. And so, it was shared with me a few years ago, and I love the term imperfect action. Is done is better than perfect. And I think that's what you alluded to.
Yeah, I like that.
That I think our founder embraces that and
Yeah.
has taught us to do that too. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do have to do it. You do have to start.
Yeah. It may not look the way we think it looks, like my hair.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's not what I expected when I started yesterday doing this. But the end result, I modified. I thought I had failed. I looked in the mirror and went, do I want to walk around like this? I don't know. Let me see if I can fix it. So that's how we learn. That's how we grow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
What are your thoughts on, I mean, what are your tools and strategies to show up with courage? If there's someone, someone watching today that they have a hard time being brave, they have a hard time stepping out of their comfort zone, what is your advice for women that are struggling with that? What are some of the tools and strategies that both of you use?
Talking.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk. The minute I start to feel myself pulling back or hesitating to share is when I know I need to pick up the phone and tell somebody.
Nice. Thank you for that, Kelly. I think that so not being in our own bubble, and creating isolation, again, that goes back to the community support, I suppose, right? Knowing that you have a lifeline, regardless of who you reach out to, and asking, can you listen? Can you lend an ear? Can you help me in this moment?
Yeah. And sometimes you're just hoping that the person who you call knows you well enough to know, ooh, when your voice sounds like that, or when you say that word, if you're telling me that, I know I need to dig a little, and you know that person's going to dig. Like, for instance, I would say, Amanda, you would agree with me, but if we were to call Kelly and tell her, I don't know, a keyword, our founder, if we were to, and she knows us this well, if we say, oh, I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I'm feeling whatever, you know that if you're opening that door, she's going to go down it with you. And so I think if you have people like that in your life, and you're starting to feel overwhelmed, or you're starting to feel what you're feeling that could make you go down that path of not being courageous, just starting that process, reaching that hand out.
Yeah. I definitely have a lot of like positive self-talk. Prayer always helps me, meditation, and I have a breathe playlist on Spotify that I like to listen to, that kind of just gives me encouragement, and it helps me. I think we forget to take care of ourselves when we're overwhelmed and afraid. Like Kelly said, I also reach out to people. Sometimes we need to be talked off the ledge. So
indeed. It's interesting. I wrote a poem. Amy, who's my partner, she does a lot in the poem space. I wrote a little one, and I think what you said, Kelly, and a little bit what you said, Amanda, is I think sometimes we're afraid to look in the corners, right? So meaning, like, whether it's in our heads or our hearts, we're afraid to go in search of, where's the anxiety coming from? Where's the fear coming from? What's underneath of that? And I think, whether we, hopefully, if we have the community of support, if we don't have it, it's our duty to build it.
Yeah.
But that allows us to then reach for somebody's hand and say, can you help me look in the corners of my head or my heart? And I'm just feeling off. Can you help me, guide me, or use meditation or playlist or something along those lines to gain the support that you need in order to reach out and uncover what it is. Bring it into the light.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we can have blind spots a lot of times too. So having the community surrounding you, you allow people to speak into your life and say, hey, can you help me see what I'm missing? Sometimes it's easy for us to see our own stuff.
It is. And I think that that's a very good point, Amanda. I mean, I think the blind spots, because we don't know that it's one, right?
Yeah.
And we may be repeating a statement. This actually just happened with Amy and I, and that she was repeating a term, chaos, chaos. I'm like, something's going on there, right? What's going on there? And she's like, thank you for that. I didn't realize that was a blind spot of mine. So I think that's what you're alluding to, Amanda, right?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
So is there anything else that either of you would like to share regarding courage and how you the number one thing that you use, or any other thoughts in regards to courage at work or in our personal lives?
I would say just keep moving forward. I mean, sorry, Kelly, I didn't know. I mean, for me personally, I could think of a million reasons or convince myself why I shouldn't do something, or it's too scary, or make excuses for it. But really, over the past few years, I keep moving forward. And even though I hear that voice in the background, I just try to talk against it, and I just keep moving forward. Like, the time is going to pass, whether I'm doing something productive and positive, or whether I'm sitting still in fear and not moving. So I try to just keep pushing myself forward. It's not always easy, but that's why we have these tools, and we have the community around us to help us.
Nice. Thank you, Amanda. Kelly, anything from you?
I was just thinking, is courage and being courageous has to do with work. And I've worked in a few different environments. And if you're not in an environment with your work where you can be courageous, I would say you should start looking, because if you can't infuse that purpose and your calling with a sense of being personally courageous and listening to yourself, I would say you need to probably look at working somewhere else.
Nice. The reason I was reaching over in my bag of tricks here, have either of you read this book?
Mm-mm.
I love Brene Brown.
Yeah. So this is she's Dare to Lead, is a really book. And I think what you just alluded to, Kelly, is a lot about what she talks about in Dare to Lead, and how it's, having difficult conversations, right? And being in an environment that welcomes those.
Right.
There's a concept of the rumble, which is having a conversation that is difficult, but also honoring the people and honoring the feelings. And so you both might like that. And then this one we use a lot, which is the power of character strengths.
Oh.
And hopefully the lighting, you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
There's an assessment that goes along with this as well.
We love assessments, right?
Yeah. We do too. You get geeked out about assessments. And there are 24 different character strengths. Bravery or courage is one of them. Shows valor, doesn't shrink from threats or challenges, faces fears, speaks up for what's right. And what's really fascinating about this is that each of us has our own specific cocktail, if you will, of the top 5 character strengths that make up who we are at our core. Mm-hmm. Meaning, what's effortless, what's energizing, what's essential. And it's not like, so maybe courage or bravery falls in the middle of the pack. It doesn't mean that we aren't able to use it. It just means that we don't call on it as much. And so for some people, it might be a little bit harder to show up with courage, and other people, it's just part of their makeup. It's part of their special cocktail. You both might like these particular books, and you can use these with your team as well.
Yeah,
we'll definitely check them out.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'm so thrilled to have chatted with both of you. This has been fantastic, and I want to get the URL. So it's is it unshattered.org? Okay, so I posted that. So that will, and this actually goes to LinkedIn, it goes to Facebook. I'll send you the link. And so everybody knows how to get in touch with you and your organization. And this was just fantastic today. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You ladies have a beautiful day.
You
and
too.
I'll talk to you soon.
I love the blue hair. I think you should keep it. Yeah, it looks great.
I think I'm going to keep it till it fades, and then I don't know. We'll see what else happens with it.
Yeah,
Right?
maybe purple.
I love the story behand it.
Isn't that? I know, it's just hilarious. I figured it was perfect timing, right? I'm like, yeah, I have the courage to change my hair. Yeah, let's see how that works out.
Yep.
Oh, you guys have a splendid day. We'll talk
You
to you
too. Bye.
Bye.